of those ones you just wish they'd have booked it from last year. You know, like when they done Rock Cena a year in the making. They should have just done that with Lesnar and Roman last year, because we've all known about it. You know, it's just a matter of keeping them both healthy up until this point, but it was always going to happen. So, you know, the match itself, Matt, was it a good Elimination Chamber? Or would you rank it high, or was this just one of those ones we're not, you know, just another Elimination Chamber style match, you know?
Yeah, I think it was good. I mean, it will stand the test of time. I mean, you can go back and watch this in 10 years' time and you've forgotten that Roman was on an indestructible path to meet Brock Lesnar at this time.
Yeah.
And it will be good because the quality of superstars in that ring is undeniable.
Yeah.
For all top guys. And I mean, even Elias, you know, he's come a long way.
Yeah.
Now that he's inserted himself into this picture, and it looks like he really belongs there. So yeah, I would say this was a good one, and especially because of the first ever women's one, and again, the quality of people in there was pretty decent. I mean, there's two newcomers, but they proved themselves in there.
Yeah, so not too bad, you know, overall. But again, not pay-per-view quality in my estimation. Regardless of having two chamber matches, you can't just sell that and have very naff results. You know, like not naff results, but results that are not, you know, out of the blue or anything like. There's nothing really on the line in terms of where the direction they're going in. There was no curveballs thrown in this. So yeah, I know that people will go, well, we got to see Ronda Rousey sign. Well, you get to see her free tonight on Raw, so there's not a big deal to me. So yeah, if it was a network exclusive, fair enough. But pay-per-view, not good enough in my estimation. But yeah, of course, coming out of this, we're going to move on to Raw now. I want to tell everybody about our WrestleMania week, because this will be one of our last podcasts for a little while. Myself and Matt are off to Hong Kong for a little while, so we'll be out for about 3 or 4 weeks. But probably about 3 weeks at top, actually. But we will be running the Bret the Hart Part 3, so you can check that out. That'll be dropped next week, in fact, on Monday, so you'll get that. But I want to tell everybody about our WrestleMania week. We're going to have Monday and Tuesday, we're going to be going back in time to 2003 to WrestleMania 19 Part 1 and 2 over Monday and Tuesday. And then we go even further back to the year Matt was actually born, in 1987, where we're going to the big match, of course, Hogan versus Andre. And of course, part 1 and 2 will go over Wednesday and Thursday, followed by Friday with our huge preview of the Hall of Fame, NXT, and WrestleMania. And if that's not enough for you, you can join us live and in the first ever As It Happens interactive show on NXT, where we'll just be talking about absolutely everything that's going on that week, all the rumours and stuff. You guys can email us in at the usual address at wrestleline@gmail.com. And of course, then Monday, the full WrestleMania review. It's going to be a good week. It's going to be a busy week, and a week of lots of rumours, no doubt. But yeah, we'll be back for that. Matt, whilst we're just hitting about Andre the Giant, I've got to say, I really like the look of the Andre the Giant HBO documentary that will be coming out. That looked really, really good. I was kind of thinking to myself, scratching my head, Matt, thinking, how come HBO can do this and yet WWE can never do that kind of quality? Like, what are they doing with all their material? Like, they've got like 10,000 million videos, and yet HBO are doing a better job at doing this than they are. It's like, what the heck? But yeah, it looks a really good series. Like, for anyone that hasn't seen the Ric Flair one as well, I recommend watching that. They did as well. But this one, you know, really looks good stuff. I know there's a lot of footage that they got, not just WWE footage, but from elsewhere that's never been shown, that's going to go on this. But it looks really good, and also it fits in very, very well, because I think it comes out the same week as WrestleMania would have been on, Matt. I think it's on the Tuesday, in fact, so after WrestleMania. So that's going to get some huge ratings, no doubt. But yeah, it looks really good, the Andre the Giant documentary. Got a lot of emails about that. Matt, I'm sure you've been reading some of the news that's been coming out, and we've had lots of emails trying to identify what on earth is this all about, what does this mean, and where's it all coming from. And of course, it's about the film director, Matt. Obviously now He's been jailed. He's in prison, basically. I'm talking about the Roman Reigns story, Matt, here, because not only is Roman going to WrestleMania, and of course he's the guy that's going to be virtually made again. How many times has this been now? But he's got a little bit of a problem on the outside of things with this whole connection with steroids and stuff, and whether he, legitimately did do it or not. Now, the key thing here is this filmmaker. There are other names that have come up, like Mark Wahlberg and stuff like that. Now, if he was to say anything that was not legit, from what I was hearing the other day on the news reports, that he'd be sued big time. Now, nobody's doing that, which obviously means he's onto something. Now, he's saying because he's making a documentary currently, he's going to give up all the emails exchanged with the one and only Roman Reigns. Now, remember a couple of years ago, Matt, we went back and Roman got a suspension. I'm sure you remember that. And we had that whole Stephanie thing on the stage. Someone let us down. I mean, that was aimed at him, that's for sure. Well, we had that. He served his time, but it's from that sort of time. So the thing is, he's already done his time for that. So in terms of WWE, okay, so if he does drop anything, WWE have already dealt with it. Because since then, I think he's gone through 11 tests and been totally fine. So, from whatever's happened, the only thing that Roman has probably been, or we don't know to be fact or whatever, that he might be in a bit of bother with, is the fact that he said in his statement that was a press release and it was sent out to everybody, that he'd never heard this guy's name. Now, apparently, when this sort of thing happens, you think to yourself, surely Roman doesn't sit there on a laptop, email some guy saying, I want this, I want that, like directly. Surely there's like a friend of a friend of a friend. No, apparently he did email him directly. So he's got all these emails that apparently he's going to show next week. This is this coming week, in fact. That could sort of, it won't do Roman any bad in terms of WWE anymore because they've already dealt with it. But what it does do is it diminishes your sort of credibility when you say you don't know this guy, you've never heard of the company, when these things are going to come out and it's going to, he's literally, whatever he wrote in there, he's got about 12 or 15 emails all over that period. So that's the only problem that he'll have. And the issue is, it's fine if you're playing a heel, you just play to that. But when you're Roman Reigns, the guy they want to market for kids and everything, that's where the problem lies. And, you got to be careful. When you're a top star, you just can't afford to make these mistakes. And, Matt, for you, from what we know, and of course, very much alleged at this point, I don't want to specify that mainly because we don't know the full ins and outs, but very much looking like it's going to come out this week anyway. WWE, they have actually posted things that there's nothing going to happen, which is unusual for them to do that in the first place because normally they don't acknowledge anything, which makes me think they might be a little bit concerned. Will this be a big concern because of the time of year? Is this filmmaker just a Braun Strowman fan or something and he doesn't want to see Roman there? Like, what could this impact, potentially do for Roman? Or do you think that WWE will just, like they do with the crowd, pretty much just go, you know what, we've got our plans, Roman is the guy no matter what?
Yeah, I think it's the latter option there. I think they will just plough on with the plans no matter what. Like we've seen it before, like you said, when it originally came around and he was suspended. Yeah, he got a bit of a telling off, but when he come back, he was still the same old Roman, wasn't he? Yeah. Still the one like getting put in your face, saying this is the guy, or the guy. Yeah, so I'm sure they won't change their mind too much about it. And I'm not. Maybe it's controversial, but I'm not too worried for Roman myself. I mean, I know the steroid use like that is a bad thing, but in wrestling, it's not really a competitive sport, is it? It's not like he's gaining an advantage over someone else or whatever. It's all about the look, really. He's just trying to achieve a certain look.
Yeah, I guess it's just the fact that he may look like a complete liar after it. That's the only thing about it. If he'd have just, I don't know who the hell does the press releases, but they should have really advised Roman, you know what, don't even write that. Leave it out. You know, you haven't got to write, I did meet him, because then you open up another can of worms. But leave out, I've never ever heard of him, and I've never heard of this company. Leave that part out of the statement. You know, you've served your time. Why he's put that in there, I don't know. So that could be the only issue that the backlash he'll get is that. But the actual thing was from 2016. That has been dealt with. So unless anything really comes up other than that, I think that's the only problem he's going to be dealt with. But, you know, by now, Matt, WWE, somebody in the office would have heard about this. Somebody probably has had this discussion with Roman and probably said to him, look, you better put all your cards on the table. We need to know everything. And, you know, they must be satisfied with whatever he's told them has been, you know, there's going to be no bother, there'll be no more blowback, other than probably the fact that you've lied about ever knowing this guy or knowing who he was, etc., or this company. So, you know, somebody somewhere must be satisfied, Matt, because it's not the sort of attention WWE want in general. So, I'm guessing. Matt, further ahead, his opponent at WrestleMania also has some stuff over him at the minute. Of course, Brock Lesnar, and very interestingly, the timing of it, Matt, last night, Dana White posted a picture of him and Brock standing together, and then also mentioning that he spoke to John Jones for the first time since the whole drug, you know, the botched drug stuff come up, and they're now in talks about, you know, potentially getting that match back on the table for the end of the year. So, again, Matt, is this Brock Lesnar's friendship with Dana to say, you know what, keep posting those things, my money's going more up and up and up with the WWE contract? Or is this looking legit, and the fact that Brock looks like this is it for Brock? You know, this is going to be his farewell match, and rolls off again into the sunlight, you know, sunshine, and, you know, very rich for it. But WWE maybe not getting a contract, or is this just a way of pushing the price up? I mean, it's hard to tell, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know, maybe there is a real relationship between Dana and Brock like that. Maybe they are just coincidentally become very good chums. You know? But I doubt it's that, isn't it? It is a whole case of one-upsmanship, isn't it? Probably Dana stating the fact that, you know, the door is always open for Brock. You know, so he is a kind of once-in-a-lifetime athlete. You know, this guy. He came around at the right time. He can dominate anything that he put his mind to. So, you know, I can't blame either company for having a bit of a bidding war over the guy.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, Matt, if there's an ideal scenario here, it is that he'll sign a WWE deal, but will allow him to do, you know, potentially 2 UFC fights or something. That would be the ideal thing for both for all three parties, you'd imagine. And maybe WWE get a kickback from having an advert on UFC again, like they've done with their game last year. Not a couple of years ago, but that game was bloody shocking. I don't know why they'd advertised that. They could have got something better. But, you know, they did do a few deals between each other, and I know that they advertised SummerSlam for them. So I've got a feeling like there must be room there to be able to do that. You know, people are saying, you know, what else can Brock do? Me personally, I'm a bit of a Lesnar fan, and all right, so it is looking like he's gonna, you know, give all the momentum that he's had since the Undertaker streak and since the match with Roman Reigns, especially last time. He's going to give that momentum now. It's all going to be placed on Roman Reigns, because after that there is nobody left for Roman to go to, which is it's a big move for me. For them doing that. But at the same time, I do think there are other things Brock could do, even on the part-time basis. I wouldn't completely just be like, well, we've got a use out of him, we don't need him anymore, because he will be a huge gain for anybody else. And, you know, even speculation that New Japan are interested in having him over there for Wrestle Kingdom next year. That's been branded about, and to come back and reclaim his title that he once won there. So, you know, he's always going to be someone else's gain. That's the thing. And I guess if WWE was smart, they'd be like, well, we want to keep him because we know if he does want to fight in UFC, he can do it, and we can also advertise on their product as well by, you know, releasing him to do that, and they could probably come up with something. So I'm guessing there might be potential for that to happen. The only thing I'm disliking about this, Matt, is they haven't learnt a lesson of getting this sorted out way before WrestleMania. Like, why does it take so long? And why do they always